Hello, hi there gorgeous Sagittariuses. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bella and most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and this is your love horoscope for June 2018. And yes, I know I'm late. I'm sorry, I've just been so uber busy that I'm only just getting to this now, but I will try to be a little bit more on time in the future, okay? Anyway, lovely people, if you like what I have to say, you know I love to hear from you all. Do comment, do like, do share. Everything you need to know about me is just in the section just below if you want to know more about me and my services also. So most of you who know and watch me regularly know that I just jump right in there. I work with the help of my spirit guides, so I'm psychic basically. And so what I look at is your love through the month of June in a very general way, because I'm covering many people, so that you can navigate it a little bit more successfully. So are you ready? So what my guides are saying here, because it is actually a really beautiful astrological love month. It started really from the 15th of June, but going forward for the entire month, it is gorgeous for love. So I'm telling everybody who is single, date now, right? It's the best time to date, absolutely. So, but how my guides are portraying the first part, so maybe the first week, maybe a little bit into the second week, is that you do a little bit, Sagittarius, is go for a little bit of a cold spell, or it feels a little bit cold. So how can that be? That could be that perhaps something that was warming up suddenly just gets a little bit quiet. Somebody goes quiet on you basically, or a long-term relationship, they're withdrawn. Now sometimes that's not necessarily for negative reasons. This can be because actually they've had to go away on holiday, they've had a lot of work going on, but it just feels like not so much close contact happening with you and a significant other. Basically there is something missing, or like I said, somebody has pulled themselves away, not always necessarily for anything negative, but because something else is going on. But it could also be the negative also too, in terms of ghosting you, things like that. So you're feeling a bit brr, you're feeling a bit out in the cold. Now most of you all know that I like to look at things positively, because they're saying here what you could end up doing is dwelling on the fact that you feel a little bit isolated or lonely or out in the cold. And my guides are saying here, firstly, that's very un-Sagittarius like, and I can say that because I'm a Sagittarius. And they're saying here to focus on the positive, that you actually have some time to be independent, to, regroup, see your friends, to kind of enjoy the love of everything else, if that makes sense. The love of you, is the first thing to kind of think about. So they're saying here you could quite easily dwell on the fact, oh, I miss them, or I wonder what's going on. And they're saying, no, don't do that. Remember, you're Sagittarius. Be independent, be positive, and actually use this to your advantage to catch up with friends, family, yourself. When was the last time you did anything for yourself? What's that thing you've been putting off that you haven't done? Beautifully use this time so that your vibration stays in a really good place, basically, because we never like you to dip in your vibration, because when we dip, then we attract what we are feeling, and so we don't want that. Some of you, because let's say the cold breeze could feel like it's because you've had an argument, or because that person's gone a bit weird. Again, you could focus on being disappointed and defensive and frustrated with them delaying stuff, or you could just get on with it. Now I tell you, it's a really good tip just to get on with it, because again, when your vibration is distracted away from the outcome of something, you draw it to you quicker, massively. And I do get here that it is a cold spell. It is not permanent, it is not long term. So use this time, Sagittarius, to your advantage. Pretty please with sugar on top, all right? So you expect that now in the first week, may linger in the second week. Now, interestingly, particularly if you have been, filling your own lights and doing your own thing, my guides are saying here that cold breeze starts to warm up and starts to flow back in to your life. Now, let's say the person has been distracted because they've been with work, and then you've been busy with yourself. They'll be mighty curious, my guys are saying, about what you've been doing. So not only will they warm up, they will start to offer you to want to go out, do dates. Should we do this? Should we do that? Should we enjoy the summer? Should we do this? And it's interesting because the way my guides phrase it is because they now want the attention on them. So it's a little bit passive manipulative in the way that they are trying to get your attention. Now it could be very subtle and actually quite endearing. It could also be that, for example, if that person did ghost you, suddenly you're just not interested because you're focusing on yourself. They suddenly swoop back in, and there's a little bit of manipulation going on because they're trying to deceive you back to put their attention back onto them. with tempting you with commitment or gifts or whatever, you know, dates. My guides are saying here, obviously you want to bond and spend that time with them, but they're saying don't be fooled. You know, see the bigger picture about what that person's trying to do, and either take it in an endearing way so that it makes you feel even more important about yourself, or make sure that you're not fooled into loosening your boundaries with somebody where perhaps you need to keep them. Particularly important if you're dating for the first time. Particularly important if that person ghosts you. Don't let them back in so easily, is what they're saying here. You are in control. By the by, you know, whether you listen to my piece of advice at the beginning about focusing on the positive, it does seem that by the third week you've got that message, because it's been shown very, very much that by the third week you are very independent, feeling very good about yourself, feeling very strong, structured. You've used, sometimes Sagittarius, you're very, very good at looking at the past and not using it in a negative way. You kind of see how it's built you up, and so there is a real reflection of understanding that you're a good person, that you're kind, that you're generous, that you're supportive, that you're a really good partner. And so actually, it might sound a little bit arrogant, but sometimes, not every negative emotion can be negative, but there is a slight beautiful arrogance in you knowing that you're worth it. What I love about that is it means that you're going to help the other person that you've met or you've been with who went a bit quiet on you for whatever reason, to understand that actually you're not going to die and fall apart just because they did. Because it will make them think twice about when they want to go cold on you again. So do you see what's going on here? There is this is a month about love. What I'm feeling very much, Sagittarius, is that this is a story about how much you'll love yourself. Do you get me? Can't say better than that now, can you? This is a story about how in this month you end up loving yourself, but because the way you do it, everybody ends up loving you just as much. You know, we reflect what we put out, and if you give yourself self-love, well, what do you know? You get it straight back, basically. It feels to me, particularly as you get for the last week, that particular person where it was a bit of a cold spell will never, or not for a long time anyway, take you for granted. I get them rushing around like a little busy bee, trying to make sure that you are as happy as pie. Rushing, maybe a little bit overwhelming, rushing, from nothing to like, it's flaming hot by this time, it's an interesting thing. So anyway, my gorgeous Sagittariuses, I think you've got this beautiful month, all about self-love, a little bit of a cold spell, but oh boy, can you use it to your advantage. It's certainly going to warm up. I get you getting what you desire, but not because you've had to be manipulative, or not because you've had to, sit there manifesting, just because you just realised that you're actually super awesome, and so will everybody else. So anyway, that was me talking about Sagittariuses, and I hope that's been helpful, uplifting and insightful for you this month. I will be back next month, so again, if you like it, like, comment, share, or subscribe in particular so you can see my daily life feeds, or for you to see what I've got to say to you next month. So anyway, you take care, you lovely gorgeous people, and I'll be back next month. Bye, and on time.